Hi girlies, it's Sadie. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is very different. It's going to be very personable. This one is very close to my heart specifically. And as some of you might know, but I'm sure there are some of you that might not know, April is Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. And with that being said, this month means so much to me because of my son, Malachi. For those of you that have been around on this channel for a little while, you know that my son is autistic. I talk about it quite frequently, and it's definitely something you know about me. Now, with this video, I don't want it feeling like a lecture or super clinical or anything of that nature. I really want this to feel like we are just sitting down having a heart-to-heart, just talking about motherhood, what I've learned, and what acceptance looks like in our everyday life. So without further ado, grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's get into it. I feel like for a long time, people's main focus was awareness, and while awareness is great and it's a huge factor of things, it's really just the surface. Awareness is knowing that autism exists. Acceptance is different. Acceptance is understanding, it's patience, it's inclusion, it's making space for people exactly the way that they are without trying to change them. I think one of the biggest light bulb moments for me as an autism mom was understanding that Malachi doesn't need to fit into the world just needs to meet him where he is at. And honestly, that shift changed everything for me. So here's 5 things that I've learned as an autism mom. Number 1 on my list, meeting them where they are. One of the biggest things that I have learned is to stop trying to force normal. Instead of asking, why isn't he doing things like other kids, I've learned to start asking, what does he need to thrive? That looks like adjusting routines, being flexible, and honestly just letting go of expectations that I didn't even realize I had. Number 2 on my list, the power of small wins. I've also learned that what the world may view as small is actually huge. Eye contact, trying a new food, handling a transition without a meltdown. Those moments are all celebrated in this household because progress is progress, no matter what it looks like. And coming in at number 3, advocacy is a skill. I'll be quite honest, advocating for Malachi did not come naturally to me. I had very little knowledge about autism until we got the diagnosis. I started researching and educating myself, but before that, I literally just knew of autism. I knew the general idea of what it was, that it was a spectrum, there's different levels, all of that, but that's really all that I knew about autism. I didn't know anything further than that, and I'm sure a lot of you could probably relate as well. And with learning all this knowledge, I've had to put it to use. Like, I've had to speak up at doctor's appointments or at school during IEP meetings or in public situations where people just don't understand. And I will be quite frank, it can be uncomfortable. But I also have realized that my voice is the most powerful tool he has right now. So I use it. Number 4 on my list, sensory joy. One of my favorite things is discovering all the things that make him feel comfort and joy. Whether it's textures, sounds, or just the little and different ways that he interacts with the world around him. Those things aren't different in a negative way. They are beautiful. and so special and so unique to him. And I really admire that, and I love it so much. I find it so fascinating, truly. And when you start to see it that way, you realize that there is just so much joy in his world. And last but not least, coming in at number 5, protecting your peace. This is the last thing I want to talk about. If you are an autism mom, an autism dad, autism grandma, grandpa, if you are an autism family of any sort, listen to me closely. Not everyone will understand your child. Not everyone will understand your parenting. Finding community, whether it's in other moms, online spaces, or even just one person who gets it, that makes such a difference. I cannot stress that enough. You really don't have to do this alone. And as they say, it takes a village to raise a child. And it definitely takes that village to raise a disabled child. And I know that autism can be tricky and not a lot of people understand it, especially some of the older generations. They don't quite understand it, and a lot of them can be closed off to it and not want to educate themselves or anything like that. And honestly, it hurts, but it also helps show you who you can easily weed out and not have to put yourself or your child through the heartbreak of trying to prove themselves to someone who just isn't gonna get it. And let me tell you, I have been there, okay? And you know, sometimes people do come around and they become more open-minded about things and want to learn things, and other people, they just don't. They are stuck in their ways, and that is who they are. And much like your child, you don't want to try and change people, because honestly, you're going to waste more time and energy on that than focusing on the things that actually matter. So take it from me, you just gotta, unfortunately, let go of some people along the way. An autism diagnosis really opens your eyes to who's really in your corner. But at the end of it all, you really don't have to do it alone. There are people. If you can't find it in your own family, you can find comfort and familiarity and understanding, guidance, and just overall support through other people who are in the same situation as you, that truly understand where you're coming from, what your struggles are like, and you guys can kind of lean on each other. I'm in multiple different support groups on Facebook, and a lot of them have been helpful, especially in the early stages when we first got the diagnosis. It was super helpful to kind of get an idea of like, oh, okay, other people experienced this, this is how they took care of it or how they went about things. And it's very helpful. And you can also find like so many different resources that you could potentially have in your state, because obviously not everyone in the group is in the same state as you, but there's a lot of similar programs or resources in your area as there would be for people in other states. So that's kind of nice too, trying to see like what options you have that could be pretty similar or are the exact same. So I'm telling you, having an online community, it really changes things and it helps so much. But moral of the story, I just really want to stress that you are not alone. Something that's important to me is creating a home that's not only calming but also beautiful, because you can have both. For us, that looks like softer lighting, although there are plenty of times where Malachi does like to have it like super bright, especially in his bedroom. But there are also a lot of times where he does like to dim it, like before bed and stuff like that. So that one's kind of hit or miss, but we have the availability to do it if he is interested in it. We also have cozy textures and organized spaces that aren't so overwhelming. I'm very intentional with creating little like zones, if you will, where he feels safe and regulated. And even with things like toys, books, or even clothing, I try to find options that are more sensory friendly but still fits like my vibe, his vibe, and all of that. Motherhood didn't change my aesthetic or anything like that. It just changed how I approach them. Now, if you are watching this and wondering how you can support the biggest thing is leading with kindness. Teach your kids that not everyone communicates or experiences the world the same, and that's okay. This is a big one, but be patient when you see a child struggling in public. I know I have been guilty of it pre-mom era, where if I saw a kid having a tantrum in Walmart or there was a child crying on an airplane, I was definitely guilty of being one of those people like, oh my god, get your kid under control. I feel like we've all been guilty of that. But as a mom myself, and especially a mom of an autistic child, I definitely look at those situations a lot different, because now I'm being put in those kind of same situations at times, so I definitely know what it feels like. So just be patient. You never know what the situation actually is or what is going on to be placing any kind of judgment. You can also support autistic voices. Listen to them, learn from them, uplift them. Acceptance starts in all the small everyday moments. To my son Malachi, my stinky butt, I just want to say you are perfect exactly as you are, and you do not need to change for the world. And I will always do everything I can to make the world a little softer, a little kinder, and a little more understanding for you. And to any other parents, grandparents, sisters, cousins, brothers out there that might be watching this video and are on a very similar journey, I see you, I understand you, and you are doing an amazing job. And even on the days where it doesn't feel like it. If you feel comfortable, I would love for you to share in the comments, what does acceptance look like to you? Or it could be just something that you've learned recently. Whatever it may be, I would love to hear from you down below in the comments. Alright girlies, so this is where we will conclude the video, and if you enjoyed it, please give this video a big thumbs up, and of course if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are the first notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next upload, but until then, bye!